Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk about We Live in Time because your life or the chance to have a baby is so stupid, I think. I watch a lot of things, movies, TV shows, etc., and I have a lot of opinions. So, I wanted to share this with as many as people possible, and this was the best way. I'm not an expert or anything, so these are just my personal opinions. Let's get started. First of all, the starting point is kind of cliche, but which is expected. It's a romance movie, so that's fine. The movies, music, visuals, etc. I think the technical part is quite good. Everything looks pretty. Narrative, in terms of visual narrative, I think it's a successful one because we can understand the moods, the feelings from the lightning, etc. This is okay. This is a good quality of the movie. But when it comes to the parts that I don't like, is the story and the character development. Of course, the spoilers ahead. We have two characters, Tobias and Almet, are quite different people. Almet is an independent woman. She is very successful at her job. She's a chef, and she used to be an athlete. In the beginning of the movie, she wants to keep this independent lifestyle. On the other hand, Tobias, recently divorced, mid-30s man with a desire to have a family. He seems quite basic, I don't know. And we didn't really see who he is in general. That's also one of the problems with the movie too, I think. So he wants a family and he works at a IT job, very basic, so kind of reserved person, I guess. And that's it, like we don't really know much about him. As we move on to the movie, we see that they get along very well. After a few weeks, Tobias is kind of worried that this might go wrong because he wants kids, but she doesn't want it. When he mentions that, she gets mad and they kind of broke up. After a while, they come together again. And this time, everything is different because our character, who is independent, ambitious, career-driven woman, changed her mind to have a kid. She actually wants the kid. And after cervical cancer treatment. So this was the part that made me quite angry. And when she gets sick, it turns out it's cancer and she's given two options. She can either have the surgery and remove ovaries and uterus so she can get rid of this cancer and she can get better faster. But this doesn't leave her choice to have a kid later in her life. So in option two, they will leave one of her ovaries and just remove some problematic parts and have the treatment with chemo. And after that, there is still a low chance that she might get pregnant, but at least there is a chance. So they choose number two because she changed her mind about having a kid, which doesn't go so well with the first character build-up. We don't really see the transition. Transition happens so fast. As a viewer, I can't really figure out how did this happen. We don't really see the build-up. Suddenly, she becomes basically a different person. Because these are all flashbacks. We all learn the story from flashbacks, which are not properly placed, I think. But in the current day, she is still an ambitious person. If they have a 3-year-old kid, the cancer relapses. So she gets cancer again, and this time she kind of postpones her treatment so she can join a competition. She is very good at it, and they are going for the finals, etc. And she's still ambitious, and she explains that like, I don't want to leave now that I'm sick and I might actually die. I don't want to leave my kid just a dead mom. I want her to think of me as someone successful, etc. She explains it that way. So we start as an ambitious person, career-driven, independent person, becomes a family person, and becomes ambitious and independent again. So I think the change between those characters, why does she act in certain times in a certain way? We don't really get that. I don't really get that as a viewer. Maybe you get it, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. But I didn't like that storyline. Because overall, the choice idea is so disturbing. There are other ways to have a kid. They could have chosen getting rid of the cancer for all, and then they could have adopted a kid, and which would still give what they wanted. Why did she have to give birth to the child? I really don't get that part. It disturbs me a lot because your life or chance to have a baby is so stupid, I think. Why would anyone choose the baby? You're not even certain that you're gonna have. You have to lose one. Why does this person chooses the traditional family? And the funny part is, in the beginning, she's portrayed as a kind of a rebel person because when they first meet, they go to her apartment. She just moved. There are some boxes. Tobias takes a look at those boxes when she's asleep. We see some photos of Ahmed with another girl. They look like a couple. So maybe she is not even heterosexual. At one line, she complains about heteronormativity and she doesn't want to get married because she thinks it's kind of stupid. All those things build up to a person who doesn't want to get married, doesn't want kids, ending up having a kid and planning a wedding. So this kind of choice makes me so angry because her health is at risk. Her ideals doesn't really match the situation. Her perception and her lifestyle doesn't really match either. And then suddenly everything is reversed and she's totally fine with it. She's actually happy until the cancer diagnosis. So how did this happen? And this is one of the most annoying tropes, I think. I hate these kind of storylines. I think this is a very old narrative which needs to die. I know it's not a great example, but Miranda in Sex and the City, she did that too. And she is not that kind of woman that would make that choice. But in the end, she did it. I don't think that went well with her character. 2024, I don't want to see a movie with this kind of storyline. Tobias's character wasn't visible. Very few lines, always looking at Ahmed, almost crying eyes. I couldn't really get what his deal. I mean, and why, what was the appeal for Ahmed to change her mind, to be with him so much? The story is disturbing and too old, and I think the character build-up is not enough for us to make sense. Other technical stuff is fine. Overall, I didn't like it. I didn't feel romantic because I was kind of angry with the storyline, so I didn't really feel whole drama or dramatic romance. I didn't feel any of those emotions, unfortunately. So for me, it was a bad experience. For me, I actually hoped it would be a cozy little romance movie. It turned out quite an annoying narrative. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that. So this is me and my opinions, and this is Couch Potato Reviews. So I hope to see you soon.